fed by the income of their parents' hardship. One among those was an alluring girl whose eyes were attractive and had a beautiful name called Rosie. And the boy named Erwin was a lovely brother of Rosie who always acted as the defensive brother of her. But then, happiness of their childhood was taken away from them, and they were left all alone in the helpless world without the parents. There occurred havoc in their lives when their family got transferred to Germany and met with a misfortune in the streets of Germany. They met with an accident and lost their lives. Somehow, they managed to come out of the grief of losing their parents and started leading a responsible life. One fine day, on the birthday of depressed Rosie, Brother Erwin thought of pulling her out from the same grief, as she was intensely missing her parents on her 18th birthday. In the year 1999, on the birthday of Rosie on December 29, the most unfortunate thing happened, which shaded their life again with the dark clouds of affliction. There occurred a dismantling earthquake which knocked down their happiness again into sad tragic demise. They had to forcefully leave Germany with their helplessness, as the economy of the town was totally ruined and he was deprived of job now. And as a refugee and with an assurance that motherland would bring out a way of life again, there were hopes in India. And with his strenuous efforts, he was successful in leading a usual life with a heart full of happiness. Even though he had all his professional qualifications, he wasn't able to survive as happily as he was in Germany. He tried harder to overpower himself and surpass all views that wrecked their life, and even tried to reconcile himself in a small-scale job of having an ice cream parlor. He even managed to admit Rosie to a college far away from ice cream parlor. She was now studying in University of Delhi, doing great with her studies, when a senior group boys seemed to be ragging. They usually used to oral abuse her, and she did not want her brother get stressed just because of her. She expressed everything in a diary of her. She wrote with tears and closed the diary every day with no hopes, and felt lonely in the world with lots of pains suppressed within her. Days passed and passed again, and the abusing had now turned into a real torture. She could no more bear the torture. She had now turned into a skinny torture body with just life in the soul. She had undergone many mental stress on usual course of her daily routine. On May 2000, there was a reluctant sun out peeping away in the sky into Rosie's room. There was a buzzing sound of bees on the ice cream which Brother Irwin had brought for her. She intentionally woke up from her bed and saw a lonely puppy out the window and gave a smile which was the last smile of her life.
She left home and waved her hand to Arvind, which was improperly answered by him. The streets of a town were all filled with abundant silence, outcasted everywhere. She could see her pale face out in the droplet of a rain on a leaf.
She reached the college at 11 a.m. and saw that her place was fully filled with sketch scripts and abusing threats. She summoned her spiritedness and sat down in her place. She can now be called as a real example of malnutrition, seeing her condition. She remained isolated even in the class, without uttering a word. She was not at all like a normal girl in the class. Never she acted girlish. After the college, feeble Rosie stood under a tree and thought of her suffocated life. She heard a monstrous voice of a group of Casanovas standing far from her. Calling her monotonously. They pulled her hair and dragged her. She was crying and pleading for mercy, but those evil souls violated her. And they left her to die in the streets in tatters. She moved aside, trembling, and had now shattered, and only had to accept self-annihilation. She pulled her back in the lonely tenebrosity in the street and entered her room. And saw her brother asleep. She savagely hanged herself and was no more in the world to bear the torture. Brother Irvin got up and got to know that Rosie not yet left for the college. And he hastily ran into her room to wake her up. But she had left him alone in the world, just with the memories of tears in her diary. He was stunned there, seeing horrifying scene of his sister's death. He was now conscience-stricken for not being attentive towards his sister. The next day it was the funeral, but there was not even a single tear out from Irvin. After funeral, Irvin entered Rosie's room and found a diary. He opened it and saw thick, wetty, dry papers. This time he wept out and summoned himself gallantly. He turned on and on the pages with guilt of not being aware of sister's complicated life. In one of the pages, she had described about those scoundrels. She had described the devilishness of those people. The name of the sinister was Arundevan, who was the brother of an assemblyman. Every day and night, Irvin thought of taking revenge. He thought ways to brutally kill them, as how they violated her. He wanted to make a weapon which would painfully suffocate them to death. He wanted them to plead, beg for mercy. He was detached totally from the life. In the last week of June, he was successfully ready with the idea of making a weapon. And the weapon named Frozen Revenger. He first created a mold into which he poured water and left overnight to freeze, and tried to take it out next morning, but it broke. He repeated the same process and tried hard to give a shake. He was finally ready with a sword which was pointed and sharp, which could easily pierce someone. He kept it and freezed in his ice cream parlor. He waited for the final day of
evil Arundevan. He was anxious for his death. Each and every day he thought for the moment when he didn't wave a bye to her sister. He was guilty. He saw the same boys passing by the street. Arvind ran out and followed them. They were busy in the same old job. He used the mask and thrashed, smacked them till they started bleeding. He booted Arun's head and he fell unconscious. Arvind did not want to give him such easy death. He left them there saying, "You have it. You did still have it." He came back home. He could not even sleep till he take their lives away from them painfully. The next day, he wanted the son being reluctant for evil lives. Arvind saw that Arun was now alone and he could not recognize the displeased face of him covered with mask and devilish look. Arun stepped back and thought of running in fear, but now the villain was in the front of him. Arvind turned his head right. Arvind stopped at place. He stepped front and turned his head towards the left. And then he screamed loud, seeing the sky, and he took the sword, the frozen revenger, and loved seeing the sword in a devilish way, and he poked into his stomach, and devil could not bear the effect of frozen revenger. It was a terrifying scene on the street. His nerves all around his body got freezed, and finally Arvind screamed loud, cried, and he was laughing aloud, seeing the sky. And the devil was dead.
In India, many women citizens are harassed, but still they haven't got the justice. As it is one of the social evil of our nation, it is very obligate to eliminate such evils. Hence, India is being taking many measures for it, and it is the duty of every citizen to create the awareness against.